The shutdown of a wastewater treatment plant in Sebokeng is posing serious health risks to residents. President Cyril Ramaphosa attempts to kiss and make up with the ANC's alliance partners. Very good evening. This is eNews at 7 p.m. I'm Tony Ndoro. This leads our bulletin tonight. A water crisis looms in the south of Johannesburg. A labor dispute at the Sebokeng wastewater treatment plant has led to a total shutdown. Sewage is now overflowing, putting residents' health at risk. Our reporter Liranzo Temba has more.
Instead of celebrating her birthday, Mavis Mokgeseng is finally getting a chance to do her laundry. It's the first time in 5 days that water is flowing out of her tap.
No, I only. Mara, if Rebona, maybe hang at a pompong. Wobana Mita Satwanyan. Honarna di baguette, Hangatona, Huabe for Banaba Sape the following day, Marabanaba Elis Colon Cosana meets.
The municipality says it's working on it. While taps are flowing again, another crisis is on the horizon. This water waste treatment plant has been standing empty for a week. Refurbishment has been halted as community members demand job opportunities.
The dispute itself, it gets to derail the whole process of building this new regional sewer water scheme. Because the part of the regional water scheme is to make sure that this old infrastructure, the pipes that are running down there, that are spilling out the sewer, we get them removed from each township to the next so that it's able to cope. But because now there are these other issues, then we have more spillages, sewer spillages in our communities.
The danger, though, is that this could lead to the water coming out of taps being unhygienic and unsafe to drink.
We received complaints that it looks like water or sun and raw sewer would flow into the river because now it's starting to flow out. When it gets into the water, obviously it would mean that the community in the main would suffer from the waterborne diseases. You know, that's one thing that we are worried on, and that's why we wanted to contain the situation.
The Water and Sanitation Department says it's concerned about the situation at the plant. It's holding talks to end the impasse and ensure that the Klip remains pollution-free. Liranzo Temba, Johannesburg.
President Cyril Ramaphosa is moving to strengthen the fragile tripartite alliance. Today, he attended the SACP's Central Committee meeting in Johannesburg. The SACP has been heavily critical of the ANC in the past, saying it failed to consult the alliance partners on important matters. It's been considering contesting elections on its own, but it's still unclear if it will do so. Kailihle Kumalo has the latest on today's meeting.
President Cyril Ramaphosa says the SACP is the ANC's loyal ally. This was his first interaction with the party's Central Committee since his December election. The SACP was critical of state capture and former President Jacob Zuma.
The alliance after Nasrec is feeling much more united. The alliance components are feeling that this new period that we are in gives us the opportunity to strengthen the alliance because out of Nasrec we were able to come up with decisions that give us the wherewithal, the instrument to be able to deal with what was making us differ. For instance, issues of corruption, state capture.
The SACP says Ramaphosa appears to be committed to addressing the tripartite alliance's concerns.
Firstly, he said he's committed to working with the alliance, and we must judge him by what he does together with the rest of the collective leadership of the ANC. The second main thing that he raised is the necessity for the alliance to discuss the economic challenges comprehensively, including outstanding issues.
The issue of political killings in KwaZulu-Natal was also raised.
The killings that have been happening in KZN are a matter of great concern to us, and we condemn those killings. And at a government level, we are going to make sure that we actually are going to speed up the process of the investigations and arresting those people who are perpetrating this.
Ramaphosa is trying hard to address several concerns and mend the relationships that's crumbled during Zuma's reign. Khalihle Khumalo, Johannesburg.
Shackdwellers movement Abahlali baseMjondolo want a private investigator to probe the murders of its members. 16 people from the group have been killed over the past 9 years, but there have only been 2 convictions. Members of the movement believe the latest victim, Sebokeng, was assassinated because he was vocal about land occupation. eNCA attended his funeral in Durban earlier.
For the 16th time since 2009, Abahlali baseMjondolo members are walking alongside the body of a murdered comrade. This time, it's eKhukanyeni branch chairperson, Sebokeng. He was killed outside his home last month, while his wife and child were inside. Abahlali baseMjondolo has its own suspicions about why Ngobo was targeted.
Ngobo's murder is political, because obviously the gunmen that attacked him did not even steal anything from him, not a cell phone, nothing. So this was an organized political crime. So we still believe that his death is in connection with the question of land, as this land occupation continue to be at loggerhead with the eThekwini municipality.
Sekode wants a commission of inquiry to establish why members are being killed. Only 2 cases have been solved. In one, 2 councillors were found guilty, and in another, a policeman was convicted.
We are looking at getting a private investigator, because Abahlali have accepted that the government is not on our side. It is not our government. They've been so silent for a very long time when we've lost members. We're also human beings. We deserve state protection. Now, what we are seeing is that our cities and the state have now been hijacked and is being run by mafias and gangsters.
The eThekwini municipality has previously dismissed the organization's allegations as baseless. THIS Marion Hill in Durban.
Thousands of people have been flocking to the KwaZulu-Natal south coast to try and net their share of glittering stones believed to be gold. Residents of KwaMachi outside Harding are collectively holding their breath. They are awaiting the results of tests conducted on the stone discovered in the area. Last Wednesday, construction workers digging at a local quarry first noticed the special stones. Tuba Vilane grabbed his shovel and rushed to the area.
It's a gold rush, and thousands of diggers have converged on KwaMachi, hoping to find their fortune. This glittering gold stone was discovered here last Wednesday. Since then, crowds have gathered from neighboring provinces. Local authorities have intervened to ensure the diggers saved.
Wednesday, which is, but there are around 5,000 abantu. So namuhla ebusuku kushiswe imoto la bebedubulana abantu. So nje isimo asikho sihle, but siyazama ayazama amaphoyisa.
Experts from the Mineral Resources Department have taken samples of the stone for testing.
We are working closely with our colleagues from the Department of Mineral Resources. Their geologists were here earlier on. They've taken samples which are going to be taken to the lab, and we expect them to give us the outcome of their analysis in the next few days.
3 people have reportedly been injured by a falling rock. The whole area has now been barricaded. But locals feel they are being prevented from making a valuable find.
We are not saying if that is a gold, it mustn't be dug by the local people. But what worries us a lot is that there's no safety in the area for now. Secondly, in terms of the number that is increasing day in and day out, it's becoming a threat as well, because definitely sure, even the criminals now will go there and try to rob those who have been digging throughout the day.
Law enforcement agencies have beefed up their presence in the area. Thuba Vilane, KwaMachi, in Harding, KwaZulu-Natal.
Coming out after the break, virtual reality is being used to help end homelessness. Stay with us for that story and more. A Cape Town non-governmental organization which helps homeless children is getting a helping hand from a virtual reality company. Providing a virtual reality experience, the 360-degree footage captures the personal stories of street children. The project will be used to secure more donors for NGOs who are experiencing funding shortages. Artinasi has more.
This virtual reality project gives viewers a first-hand experience of the everyday struggles of homeless children.
I left home because I didn't want to live with my dad and my stepmom because of the way they treated me.
Well, I was driving into work one day and saw some street kids out in the winter, in the cold, and just thought that virtual reality would be the best way to get other people to understand where these kids come from and why, and why do they leave home.
And it's all for a good cause. The project will aid the Homestead, a not-for-profit organization which aims to keep children off the street and help them reconstruct their lives. And telling the story of these children isn't always easy, says one of the creative team members.
If you're telling a story about street people and you're getting general footage about street people, you cannot show the faces because you don't really know how they will feel about that. The experience in itself requires you as the person who's filming and producing the film to be quite sensitive to how people might feel about you telling their story as an observer, because obviously you don't share that lived experience.
The virtual project will be used to help other organizations with its next project tackling marine conservation. Artie Narcy, Cape Town.
To international news now, and we start in Canada, where the G7 finance ministers have been meeting. The ministers have slammed the United States for its decision to impose tariffs on steel and aluminium imports. They say the move will make it more difficult for the group to work together to confront China's trade practices. A 25% tariff on imports of steel and a 10% on aluminium were imposed on Friday on Canada, Mexico and the European Union. U.S. President Donald Trump says the summit with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un will take place. It's expected to be held in Singapore on the 12th of this month. Trump's announcement follows his meeting with senior North Korean officials who visited the White House yesterday. The U.S. president cancelled the summit last week, accusing Pyongyang of being hostile. Scientists say the eruption of Hawaii's Kilauea volcano has entered a new phase. They say it is becoming noticeably calmer in the summit crater, but they're not sure what will follow. More than 80 homes have been destroyed in the past 4 weeks. All residents were advised to evacuate by noon of yesterday. Here's a reminder of your main stories this evening. The shutdown of a wastewater treatment plant in Sebokeng is posing serious health risks for residents. President Cyril Ramaphosa attempts to kiss and make up with ANC's alliance partners. Well, as we all know, it is a massive weekend for local music. The who's who of the music industry are all gathering in Sun City for the South African Music Awards tonight. Our entertainment reporter Lindiwe Sitole is there to capture some of the excitement.
It's the biggest event for our music industry. It's the Summer Awards and they are in their 24th edition. This year, dancer, choreographer and reality star Somizi will once again be hosting the ceremony. He'll be joined by radio host Dineo Ranaka and comedian Mpo Pops.
The entire event, over the weekend, I'm really excited. It's my first Summer Awards and I'm really just honored to be nominated and to be here.
Man, it's an amazing weekend, amazing night for South African music, celebrating as well. So I'm rooting for the young kids, coming through and it's just a new generation of great artists coming through, and I'm excited, man.
We feel so grateful, man. It's a milestone for us, man, and it feels like people are recognizing our work and they appreciate our work.
For the Lifetime Achievement Award, Steve Kekana, Mbongeni Ngema and the late Spokes Age will be honored. And of course, we can't talk about the SAMAs and not mention the controversy. There's been complaints from fans that their favorite artists are being excluded. Musicians such as Casper Nyovest and Babes Wotumo staged a boycott, and others have been disqualified. The recording industry of South Africa announced that Swazi-born singer Sans and Moby Dixon were taken off the nominees list. Risa says Sans was a foreign national and the nominated song by Moby Dixon was a remix of an international song. So both artists are no longer qualified and were kicked off. Nonetheless, many still look forward to the SAMAs, especially the main night.
Okay, good luck to Rassi, Rasmus and the Springboks later on tonight. That's it from us here at eNews. Have a good night.